If you are not yet a member of the Patreon, link is in the description. Please consider becoming a member, as you will have access to many videos you cannot find here on YouTube.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
Kanye West has been back in the headlines this past week, and this time it's because he just sold out 2 shows at SoFi Stadium after what felt like being completely blacklisted from the industry. For a while, it looked like he completely lost all his deals, partnerships had been dropped, and platforms distanced themselves, and now all of a sudden he's back selling out stadiums like nothing happened. But the moment it was announced that he had one of the highest grossing 2 shows in live music history at $33 million, I knew for certain this was a Freemasonic ritual taking place despite the incredible visuals people couldn't stop raving about. In fact, many people have even went as far to say this is probably the best visual concert stage performance of all time. But here's the real question. Has anyone ever been able to expose the industry, go against the industry, and actually make a successful comeback? Was Prince able to do it? Was Michael Jackson able to do it? No. His career was not only destroyed, but his life was clearly taken by the same people Kanye West has been exposing, allegedly. And the more you look at it, the less this feels like a simple comeback story by Kanye, because if you actually follow the timeline, there were certain things that happened before this moment that stand out. Back in early November 2025, as we covered on this channel, Kanye West would be seen on camera with Rabbi Yosef Pinto apologizing for his behavior over the past few years. Footage of the meeting circulated online showing him expressing remorse and taking accountability in a private conversation with the rabbi. And that was one of the first major shifts people noticed. But they also noticed something even more obvious: how odd and different Kanye sounded and appeared. He just looked off.
I feel really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues, dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have me take them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself. So I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease.
Then more recently, Kanye drops visuals for his song Father. And when you really watch it beyond the random artistic imagery most people will not understand, there's actually imagery in there that lines up with things people would associate with Gnosticism. For those that don't know, Gnosticism is essentially the belief that spiritual salvation comes through special hidden knowledge that allows the soul to escape the material world, and that every human carries a piece of divine within them, which can be awakened through gnosis. And in practice, Gnostic texts often reinterpret biblical stories or other religious teachings, portraying the material world as a trap and the spiritual world as the ultimate reality. That brings us to Kanye's music video. They are located inside of a church, as you can see here, where Kanye can be seen sitting front row, where the 2 astronauts are removing his mask to reveal an alien underneath. This is important because in Gnosticism, humans would have to shed their old selves to become something that is not of this world, hence the alien/extraterrestrial being. You also notice the spaceship outside the window. Something else also important are the 2 astronauts removing the mask for Kanye, because this is symbolic of individuals only quote-unquote high enough to remove the mask for him, aka his handlers in the industry. Immediately after this, you see Travis Scott walk in engaged in a wedding with 2 brides, which is also symbolic for a chemical wedding that occultists typically participating in. But also notice how these 2 females, I want you to notice how young they are. These aren't just any women. These appear to be very young women, and that's not a coincidence. Travis Scott is also someone attempting to slowly make a comeback after his disastrous harvesting ritual that took place a few years ago, resulting in the death of many in attendance. So now the question becomes, was this just a natural return, or were there certain boxes that had to be checked first before Kanye was fully accepted back into that space? Because when you line everything up, it starts to look a lot less random and a lot more strategic, especially when you consider this video when Kanye said himself, if he ever disappears and comes back, we all know why.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that black-owned media will be the solution of celebrities being outcast for not going with the group?
You know, I believe at this point we're all one. We're all one race. We're the human race.
Understood.
At this point, it's going to take us all coming together under God and helping each other. You know.
Do you think it's better if we lift each other up though instead of negative comments? You think that's a better move?
He's got to call it out first. He's got to call out the negativity, and then we got to heal it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just we gotta get the truth before we can get the love, or else we're just loving the lies.
Yeah. What have you got to say to people that are trying to cancel you?
He can't cancel him.
I'm here.
That's right.
We here.
We
ain't going nowhere, baby.
We've been here for years.
If I ever went anywhere, we know why. You understand what I'm saying? So we here.
And let's not forget that this is the same interview that Kanye said a lot of truth about how the industry is ran, who controls Hollywood, the music industry, the media, the banks, etc. Where was the lie? And more importantly, why has nothing been done about that? But even the concert itself could be taken as symbolic, as Kanye can be seen on top of the world, on top of the moon, aka on top of the universe, being praised by the masses, yet on a leash the entire time. If you pay attention closely, as we can see here, there's something attached to Kanye's back the entire time, which can be symbolic to him being controlled at all times. And does no one find it strange that Kanye can come out and say this about Jay-Z and Pusha T right before they would be named in the Epstein files?
If you take people like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living our people. So how are they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best fit for somebody else?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars.
Man.
Liars are now the face of our culture.
The same Jay-Z that will, for the first time in a long time, announce major concerts this year as well, but not before sitting down to do a rare interview with a seemingly young fan to address select topics. This is an interview where Jay-Z received very little pushback. He isn't exactly asked about the young females that's been a part of his career, like a very young underage Beyonce, Aaliyah, or even Foxy Brown. Instead, this was a complete softball interview.
Let's get into this interview, which I thought was hilarious. Right off bat, they told you exactly who he is. People are trying to break down why he had this Congolese mask and how it meant for the struggle or how it meant for the culture. They don't care about who they are as far as their identity. They're never going to tell you who they truly are or who we truly are. But they know, and they chose a side to be subjugated. He got his hands in the pyramid here, he got his hands in the pyramid here for the photo shoot, his thumbs in the pyramid here for the photo shoot, and of course you see the Eye of Horus or the Eye of Ra, which is the one-eyed symbolism that is all connected to Freemasonry or Prince Hall Freemasonry. As you can see here, it's all esoteric knowledge. They go from black and they go from white in one 35-minute video. The interview is wearing a black hat with a white background, then he wears a white hat and a black background, just like the floor in York Rite, Scottish Rite, and Prince Hall Freemason lodges is the checkerboard flag. So the very first part of the interview, he wanted to jump in and what happened to him as being accused. He didn't really go into it because the interviewer was selected for a particular reason. He wasn't going to give him any hard questions where he couldn't handle it. But all you have to see is what he's been propagating throughout his career. I mean, no one is out here really wearing "Do What Thou Wilt," which is a quote by Aleister Crowley.
And something else to consider is that Kanye's 2-day concert began on the same exact day as the fake Freemasonic event called Artemis 2, which was NASA's second mission in the Artemis program, which is focused on quote unquote returning humans to the moon and establishing a sustainable presence there. Furthermore, the difference between Artemis 1 and the second most recent one is this time they claim to have actual astronauts on board this time. Do you believe it's a coincidence that an event involving astronauts in the moon happened to be the same day as Kanye West's concert? Of course not. All of these things are symbolic. And to be clear, this is not my way or this is not a way for me to say that Kanye West has not done or said things over the past few years that are reprehensible, that are quote unquote bad. I'm not stating that. I think Kanye West has flown off the rails several times and said some crazy things. But typically what we see Kanye West having to apologize for once he shows back up to the public's view or the public's eye are some of the more least important things that he actually said. But the more important things that he said that also happen to be true, we notice not only does he not have to apologize for that, but they're never actually acknowledged on a granular level.
Right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm appreciative.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me.
To tell us, number one, why it was wrong for him to say it, and number two, how it's false. We never really see that. And I think that's a problem, because I think his return shows that you will have to bend the knee. You would have to apologize to the people that run this world, in my opinion, or at least control certain industries that Kanye West wants to be a part of before Kanye West is able to thrive again, right? I don't think this is just organic fan love. I think it was indicative of either you have the green light or you don't. But these are just my thoughts, man. Y'all up in the comment section. I thought I'd just talk about this because this has been all over Twitter, the headlines. Everybody's been talking about his concert. But I want to make it clear that it's not just you can go directly to the fan base and you can be blacklisted, but as long as the fans love you and you make great music, no, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. Let's put this into its proper context and remember what Kanye West had to do in order to make it back to this point. But hop in the comment section and give me your thoughts, man. I'm Demetrius. I go by Diddy. I'll catch you all in the next one, man. Please hit the like button on your way out. It helps the video a lot. Peace.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.